Welcome to Seven Trumpets Prepper Channel, and guys, welcome to another edition of the Hard Truth Show. I hope everybody in the building that's piling in, if you can just let me know if the audio is okay on this, I'd greatly appreciate it because I have got my new audio setup going on today. I've got the new screen going on, new Bluetooth keyboard, the whole camera lighting system, everything. We're fully using the new studio today, finally. Hoping the screen quality is a lot better. It looks like the screen quality on my end of things is a lot better, so I'm very hopeful for that. But if somebody can just drop in the comment section that you can actually hear me on this, that would be great. And then we will definitely get audio sounds good. Awesome. Appreciate you guys. Much loved, y'all. Yeah, shalom to everybody coming in the building. So I don't even really know where to get started today, because I want to share with everybody the meetup first off, that's coming up. It'll be on the 5th of April. Okay. And that is going to be from 11 o'clock to 3 p.m. That day at Panther Creek State Park in Tennessee. All right. The venue's done been paid for. It's kind of just like a meetup / first day of unleavened bread celebration / network with people / just have a good time. Right. All right. It's nothing formal. It's nothing over the top. It's just literally so that people can start conversating, fellowship and getting together, because guys, I literally know a venue right now that if I had like $500,000, I would buy the place, renovate the place, and have it for people to come fellowship every Shabbat. Hey, shalom to everybody giving me feedback on the sound quality. Much loved, y'all. I would literally just absolutely do it. But with that said, I'm going to get in that in just a second. I want to say 2 shout out things real quick is actually 3 things. Number 1 is if you want any info on the meetup past getting the info in the video description below, you need help on it. I'm going to break this down in a bit, but make sure to check and hit me up at 7trumpetsprepper@gmail.com if you're coming, because I paid for 80 people to be able to come to the venue. But after that, I have to get another permit thing from the park or something for using the venue space. Okay. Next thing is make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And if you'd like to financially help support this channel, you can do so via the links below. Appreciate everybody that helps out support the channel. Guys, the algorithm at YouTube's not for me anymore. Okay. I mean, if y'all didn't notice, I went over 100K lately. They won't even let me apply to get my play button. So I like, if that doesn't tell you how hostile YouTube is toward truthers, like, I don't know, like it is getting worse and worse and worse. All right. So like, please share this content, because if you don't share it, I promise you that YouTube has no intention to. Okay. All right. And with that said, so we can get right into the meetup first. And then we will do the conversation about a scriptural New Year's resolution, because I'm going to go down the list of my things I plan on. And then, of course, on New Year's Day, I'm going to go over the River Euphrates history, where we're at today and where we're headed prophetically. I think that'll be very interesting. I've got my notes together. I just continue to add things to it. Every time I go to I'm going to make it, I just keep finding something else I want to add to. So I'm about there. All right. If you haven't checked out World/Chance calendar app on Apple or Android, it's free to download on the Play Store and the App Store. And you can download this free. And we stream on here. I stream either the night before Sabbath or the day of. And then, of course, at 12 Eastern time on new moon days. All right. Scriptural biblical new moon days. So you can check that out on the calendar app right there. And that way you can help follow, have a heads up on when the stream is streaming. Okay. All right, guys. So now listen, I know that it has been a long winter. All right. But I am very excited that we are finally moving toward actual spring. All right. And so what I want to share with you, I'm going to share this map right now, and hopefully this will screen share it properly, because I'm doing it off my Pixel tablet thing now. Is what you see right here is the Panther Creek State Park maps, and I'll put this link in the video description below, but I just want to go over this, how to get there. If you're coming down Panther Creek Park Road, you'll turn right here, and I don't know if it shows the cursor on the screen or not, but you'll see there where it says Visitor Center Park Office, that little black dot. you will turn up that road right there, and literally this is like a mile-ish up to the pavilion thing. It's on a paved road, nice paved road, beautiful park. I've hiked it I don't know how many times throughout the history of my life. And furthermore, when I used to be a Cub Scout leader for Boy Scouts and stuff. But anyway, right here, I'm going to zoom back out of it a second. And then I'm going to zoom in a little further past the park office. You'll come on up past the park office. You'll make that bend around right there. You'll go past the campground turnoffs, and you'll cut back to the left and start up the hill where the squiggly goes to the left-hand side of the screen. Okay. And then right here, it goes on up the hill from the squiggly. You can see there is a pull-off area right there and a little pavilion thing and stuff. That is not where we're going to be doing it. We'll be doing it on past it down where you see the dot to the left bottom there where it says small man structure. And that is, or the green icon up top left there points down to that dot that says small man structure. But right there is where we're going to have the meetup, and it is a beautiful view of Douglas Lake. It's covered. Hopefully the weather, will be considerably warm. May have to be a long sleeve shirt at best. That's what I'm hoping for. Just t-shirt weather, and not a windy day, but there's a little overlook up there. It's a great place to eat. I'm going to try to figure out something about like foods, things like that, snacks. New Year's Day on scriptural calendar, guys, is day after tomorrow. That's the grand plan. Oh, shout out to you, Cindy. That's awesome. Looking forward to meeting everybody. We will, I'll definitely start getting a list compiled together. And gonna try to put like an info sheet there if people want to link up with one another, share info with one another, trying to figure out something. Yeah, Tess, absolutely. If you'd like to come, by all means. Hey, shout out to much love and shalom to you folks over in London. That's awesome. And we got people that watch the stream from all over the world. It's amazing. It is really mind blowing to me how many people actually follow this stream, like across this flat geostationary earth under a firmament dome, like the scripture describes. But anyway, the venue's paid for. It don't cost a thing to come. And like I said, it's just a meetup for everybody to come fellowship, get together, share the truth with each other, and enjoy each other's company. Because I know we are entering some very dark days ahead, and it is so nice to just have someone to talk to and prop a brother or sister up. Okay. All right. So now with that said, guys, link is in the video description below to the park service. I'm going to put a link to the park map. I'm going to put the time and the date, and I'm going to put my email in there so that you can reach me. So any info that I didn't already get into this morning, I will get the rest of it in there following this live stream today. All right. Okay. So whenever we talk about New Year's resolutions, I should have put it in there, like the streamers and everybody like celebrating, what we just went into 2023 and all that stuff, right? Panther Creek State Park's in Morristown, Tennessee, guys. Whenever we talk about celebrating the new year, you always think of the streamers and the ball drop and all that crazy stuff because, paganism and the worldliness of this world, it has just been ingrained in people's heads to think that the new year begins at the darkness of the wintertime, which is insanity. Nothing is alive. Everything is as dead as it can about get. I mean, period. Right? So when you look at this, you're like, all right, what do I need to do? Well, number one, you need to look at the truth that the scriptural calendar begins in the spring, all right, with the new moon. And, you can get a lot of that information and knowledge from World's Last Chance. I'm going to be producing a mini documentary about the new moon, the key to the creator's calendar. I've been planning to do that for a year or two, and it just so many things going on, and I want to make this the year of getting things done. All right. So that's going to be on the agenda to do. And when you really wake up and you see that the Father Scriptural, Lunisolar Scriptural Biblical Calendar, it starts in the spring and not in the winter. Hey, shalom to folks in Texas, is that you really start considering upon the matter. You're like, what else have I been lied to? And there's lots of things that will lead you down the rabbit hole. being lied to about flat earth, true Hebrews, father's calendar, the appointed times of war. There's just so many things, true names. One or the other always seems to turn the key in people's minds where they start researching and seeing if certain things be so. All right. So with that said, one thing to consider is we got to block out the noise moving forward. If we're going to have a scriptural, one of the first tenets on my scriptural New Year's resolution is to block out the noise of the world. Social media, I used to really partake in social media, and I sound so hypocritical as I say this right now because I stream on YouTube. But guys, like, you'll see content creators and they're on a bazillion platforms. I'm on practically two anymore, YouTube and Odyssey. If you want to check out my content, especially the Hall of Fame content that YouTube deletes over here and Odyssey has over there, because it's still free speech platform, you can check it out over there on Odyssey. Links in the video description below as well. You can subscribe over there. I have content over there I don't have over here on YouTube for obvious reasons I can't talk about. And I'm going to try to be a good boy this year. I'm going to try not to get a community guideline strike this year. All right, and behave, because it stops me from being able to post for a while. So I don't want to impede that anymore. I'll just talk more in parables. But, like, I really dipped out. I started dipping out. It started with Facebook and Instagram, and I got rid of my Twitter, and I got rid of Snapchat. And, I still have the app on my phone for Snapchat, I think, but I don't even use it practically. And so anyway, I got down to the point where the only thing really social media wise I use is YouTube. And every now and then I'll bounce on Facebook, check on my peeps and family and friends. And I wish there was a way to have another contact direct to people, to all the people I know on Facebook that I love deeply. That way, if I wanted to get rid of Facebook, I could just delete it altogether and be without it. But you really need to block out the noise of the world, because Facebook, social media, all this garbage, it is just such a detriment to the mind, and it's such a waste of time. And furthermore, TikTok, they showed recently that the mind is being turned to mush. Literally, a study was conducted apparently that girls were indulging so much in TikTok that it was damaging the brain. And I couldn't remember exactly what the breakdown was, but like, it was causing anxiety, and I forget what the other thing was. It was causing, maybe it was depression. I don't want to misquote, because it was interesting. It was like, wow, like this is crazy. How much that, getting wrapped up in social media is damaging to the brain and its function. Like, our ancestors didn't have access to technology and electronics like we do. Everything from adult content, if y'all feel me, to gambling, to instant gratification, to instantly connected with people, to, the full gamut, the 7 deadly sins kind of deal. You can about cross the threshold on a bunch of them just through social media. And it is something in a New Year's resolution that I think that many of us just need to put to bed for good and walk away from. I do not miss Facebook. I really just, the more that I step out of society, the more I don't miss it. And I'm not, it's not that I'm antisocial, for crying out loud. I'm setting up a meetup. Me and Brother Joel's put conference together in the past. I love fellowshipping people. I don't want to be around worldly things anymore. I want to decompress. And I know I'm going deep on this first point, but I ain't even got in halfway into the first point. But I just want to point out too that people get this thing that after they accept Messiah, it's like all of a sudden all your sin's supposed to be gone. You're all of a sudden not supposed to be perfectly made brand new. You're not supposed to ever slip or fall anymore. Like, there's just all this tenets that Christianity teaches hardcore, that at the base root, it's like, it takes a convert. If you were a sinner for 30 years and you lived in debauchery, it is going to take you a minute now with a renewed spirit to walk out of that life. If you were a drug user and like, there's some people, like, if you stop taking a certain drug right away, the effect that it has on the body, because the body's been so used to having that, it is detrimental on the body. Like, it is just absolutely detrimental on the body. And I could just go on and on. And that's why with Facebook, social media, all this garbage, is that everything needs to be taken in moderation in life, period. But secondly, is that if you are on this, like I looked at my phone the other day and I seen the screen time analysis, and it said I'd been on the screen time for like an hour and 30-ish minutes a day, and most of that was productivity time. And I'm like, I can handle that. I can handle being on the phone an hour a day, because that is customers, that is tech support, that is emails, that is 20 minutes on eBay looking at something I shouldn't have bought. But like when you see people that are on their phone 6 and 7 and 8 hours a day, that's not healthy in any measure, guys. That's you're on your phone as much time as if you were on a job. That is insane. All right. So this is something I think, number one, is one of the easiest things people can start culling and removing right out the gate. And I think many of us believers could do that right away. Somebody said Carolyn said I lasted 2 weeks on the FB before I had to get off it. That was before I properly came into the faith about 9-10 years ago. Hey, shout out to you, Carolyn. Now the next thing, and I shout out to my dad. I love my dad so much, and he is on top of the news. He stays on top of the news, and it triggers me so badly. I cannot watch the news. I remember when my dad was living with me recently before he got moved into his new house that I was building for mom and dad. Dad was watching the news channel one night, and I came in from work, I think it was, and it was President Biden. Sleepy Joe was about to talk about, he was telling everybody, I believe it was when he was telling everybody that they had to get the JAB, and pretty much we were worthless, evil human beings if we didn't. It was like that news conference thing. I got so triggered. I was like, Dad, please change the channel or turn this mess off. I love you to death. I got to walk up out of the room. I can't handle this mess. And I did. I had to walk off, and it's not because I'm cowardly or weak. I swear the news does something to me. I'm telling you, I don't want demons around me, but I tell you, there's this little part of Luke that just goes completely twisted up when I watch the news. And because all I know it is it's just there to trigger you. I mean, that's all there is to it, So anyway, this is two of the easiest things for a New Year's resolution on Scriptural New Year, I think, that we could remove. Because if you remove this and replace this with time and the Word, I'm speaking to myself. This is what you're looking at right now is my New Year's resolution. Because, guys, I still pull up news articles. I still read news. Matter of fact, I go through a ton of stuff just so I can produce this weekly stream to get it out to you guys. So that is something that I am definitely going to curtail down, so that I don't get too engrossed in that, and I need to spend more time in the Word. All right. All right. So next thing is we need to focus on sin removal, especially pet sins, myself included on this. All right. Every one of these points, myself included, because I get angry at people, and I'll hold a grudge. I shouldn't do it. There's a lot of character flaws that I want to work on in my own personal being. I'm almost 40 years old, but it's time to put a lot of this stuff to bed for good. And, whenever you consider I bought this planner, and I actually should have shared the picture. It is actually it's a yearly planner thing, and it's the second year I'm doing it. But it is the way it's laid out. I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean to keep just stammering. It is laid out in a way that you track daily, monthly, and throughout the year your progress. And it's curtailed to really making right choices. And I log things in it, like what happened good that day, blah, 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 blah. Am I making a movement toward positive progress? And, man, I hate I don't have that at the moment, guys. Remind me on the next stream. I will have to pop that in real quick to share that with you guys for anybody that's interested. You know what? Matter of fact, I got you one better. I will put a link to it in the video description below when the stream's done, so that if people want to read that and check it out, they can check it out. Matter of fact, I'm going to put it right here, my notes, so that I pull that up for you guys and put that in there. All right. So moving on from that is that, we have everyone is different. Okay. Everyone's mindset, everyone's demeanor, And that's good. I don't want everyone to be the same as me. I don't want to be like everybody else. There's only one of you, and you are special. And so, like, when that comes down to rubber meets the road, however, there is somebody may have a gambling problem, where someone else may have an adult content problem, if you follow my drift. All right, so I don't say the word and get flagged on here. Some people may have a DRUG problem. All right, some people may have a social media addiction and made an idol out of it. There's just lots of different things that people have up in their life that they need to delete, pull the trigger on, and get it out of their life. All right, and we are entering that season where that we don't need to be lingering with this stuff anymore. I mean, we just don't need to be holding on to this anymore. Many of us have been in the truth into the decades now. We're talking into decades now, folks. I'm thinking, what is it, 2009? You know, when 2029 comes around, that will be 20 years in the truth. 20 years in the truth. I know that's still quite a ways off, but it's not that far off. And that is a long minute. All right. So, you know, we need to definitely be getting our act together. And I would put this as one of that's most people might be like, this should be point number one or top priority. But the thing is, you need to get the noise out of your mind and out of your way and distractions so that you can focus on this next, because there's no, like, if you have a gambling problem, right, and you constantly on the internet playing cards or slots, you're never going to not think about gambling because you're constantly thinking about it all the time playing it, right? So remove the problem and then provide the solution. All right, that's where I'm going with this. All right, so this would be my next point in case for a strong New Year's resolution, Scriptural New Year, is to repent, ask for deliverance of sins. Matter of fact, I mean, you know, I think we should be praying individually as a group, just all together. You know, I don't have a problem with drinking alcohol. Guys, I ate at Olive Garden the other day, had a strawberry daiquiri with my cheese ravioli or whatever. I've never been lit. You know, alcohol to me is like a Coca-Cola, which, by the way, that ain't healthy either. I know y'all got known to me for drinking my glass Coca-Colas. I try to drink sweet tea and water and juice, grape juice and orange juice and milk anymore. All right. But they, as long as you don't drink to drunkenness, I don't have an issue with it. But matter of fact, you know, here's the deal. Scripture, you can go to multiple references where that they had alcohol in Scripture. It's the drunkenness part that is a problem. All right. So the next thing is that, hey, and guys, this actually was like a GIF video thing. I'm tinkering around learning how to put actual video clips in this stuff now instead of just my, pictures and stuff. Moderation. Absolutely. That's the word, moderation, Diana. But the next most important thing, is there a playground area? Yes, Tiger's Den Dojo, there is actually. Guys, listen, there is a playground up top. There is walk paths. There's walk trails. There is a beautiful place down bottom for a creek for the kids to play in. There is now up top at the very top of the hill, though, where the meeting, where we're doing the fellowship area. It's a nice dry place to sit down, fellowship, eat, talk. It's I'd say like a half mile from everything else, but you can easily just drive right back down the hill and park and go get into any of that stuff you want to. All right. So there's two playground areas. I'm sorry. There's two, the best of my knowledge. All right. So the next thing I would say is call the people that is not contributed to you as a person and that is not contributing to your walk with the Most High. Now, I'm going to tell you, this was one of the hardest things in my life to ever do, was to start telling people no. When I quit my business, my phone would ring and people would want me to go out and do service calls and installs and all this stuff, even though I done closed up my business. Literally wrote it off as a loss on taxes this year and closed up shop. And people's like, I need you to do this, and literally hate speech me. And I'm like, no. I am not doing it. It had to come down to telling people no. And it was one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life, because at times I've found myself in life being a yes man. And I am not a yes man no more. I'm trying to be a no man. I told one of my staff people at work the other day, now that I work in construction here local now, I told them, I said, we're going to do everything we can to run people off from hiring them anymore. I said, because one day I may have to fire these people. And I want to do everything I can to stop these people from coming in the door to begin with. I want to see people have a job and do well. Just please understand my premise on what I'm saying. I want to do everything I can to call somebody at the front gate, because once they're in the door, I want them to succeed here. I want to hold on to them forever, because I never want to send somebody home. It's the hardest thing to do as a manager, is to send people home, especially people that's worked for you a long time and that you love them dearly. All right. But there is people in your life that right now you need to call these people every time you turn around. If you do this little check, like I've said this before, what have you done for me lately? If you constantly find yourself contributing and paying and giving your time, love, and affection, attention, and building people up, and every time you turn around, all they do is tear you down, or they have a problem, or they're an expense in your life, or depressing you, or turning you away from your walk with the Most High, they don't need to be in your life. And that hurts, because we love people, and holding on to some things is worse than letting it go. Okay. I mean, this part here is pretty much, I mean, gosh, I don't know, guys. I may have some of these out of order, like some is more prioritizing than others. But like, if we're going to because I see people all the time, especially pagans, they'll put together a New Year's resolution. They're like, I'm going to eat healthy this year. And they eat healthy for 3 days, and then they order DoorDash. And you know how I know that? Because I order DoorDash too sometimes. And so like, these people say, well, I'm not going to do this or that. And then the next thing you know, they did it. It don't last. And so like, if we're going to look at this scripturally and focus intently on doing the things that are really matter for building us up for the kingdom, this right here is one that I am still working on and still thinning down, because I'm going to tell you what, my phone rings a lot less now with people's problems. Another thing I want to point out to you guys is there is problems that people will bring to you, especially if you're a fixer. And I'm a fixer. I know I'm a fixer. It's written all over me. And people will bring their problems, and they will drop them off at your doorstep, at your feet, and expect you to fix them. Now, listen, I'm all for helping people, but I am not going to constantly prop somebody up. I'm not going to constantly fix somebody's problems. Number one thing is, most people's problems are a direct result of their own poor decisions. And it's not your responsibility to fix up somebody's problems and their poor decisions. All right. So I'm just going to say that and leave that where it's at. All right. Is that you've got to, in this year ahead, especially in the direction we're going. I just spoke to my wife about this the other day. We're going down the road. It's not like, I told her, I said, at this point, she was telling me about how some music artists literally put their symbol the other day on their icon as the devil. And I was like, well, now I am grateful for that person. I'll tell you for why. I said, because you know where they stand now, and you know where I stand. What we don't know is the people that's on the fence, and the people on the fence is the ones that I am the most concerned about, because you don't know where they fall. If somebody says they're openly worship Satan and they're openly for Satan at this point, that's all right. You do you, boo. It's not okay. But when I say it's all right, I mean, well, all right, I know where you stand. And this is an important season that we are entering into, where we need to know where people stand. So during this new year ahead that Yah has granted us the breath of life, all praise be unto him forevermore, is that we need to begin the culling of people out of our life so that we know what's up. All right. Next point that I want to cover is we need to focus on exiting Babylon as much as possible. Now, I'm going to get into another point, kind of touch back on this in a second, but it's really, really important that we focus our mind and effort that we exit Babylon, because if you are sitting down on 5th Street in New York or whatever, right, and you look out the window and all you see is people and the masses and ungodly people everywhere, and you're not sitting in the countryside or somewhere quiet and private and growing your own crops and growing your own animals and living on your own land and running your own bathwater from your own well and creating your own power, this is something we need to definitely be getting sorted out, because it is coming. The Babylon is going to fall. The great whore Babylon, she's going to burn, and her little harlot daughters, the churches that have taught all the lies and spread all the false doctrine, especially what's stemmed out of America. I mean, judgment is coming, and it needs to be on our mind daily when we come and go, and whenever we rise up, whenever we lay down. What do I need to do to help myself one day at a time exit the scene and get out of here? Because one thing is for certain, it is coming. Yeah, here we go. Comment of the day so far right here, 2030 agenda. Yep, I know it is definitely on the back burner. These people are serious about it. They are intent and hell bent to make these things happen. And I've got some other points I'm going to cover on this, but what is astonishing to me is everything from the river Euphrates drying up to all the Asian nations kicking and rattling their saber. The kings of the east going to come west. You've got all these different things that's going on that are so prophetic, and it is one of the first times in the history of humanity that things could be fulfilled in line as they are. Like you're literally seeing biblical prophecy playing out before your very eyes. And I don't want to get too much into this because I got another point that's actually covered on prophecy, is that when you look at the big picture, when you really expand out, magnify out, you can see that there is no, like, I'll give you this one. Trump's supposed to be arrested, I believe tomorrow is what the news said. And suppose the man gets elected in office again somehow, whatever, right? One thing about it is that this whole Make America Great Again thing, I have wanted so badly to do a stream that show that America has never been great. America is a mess. Like if you're a Frenchman, you can say, hey, I'm a Frenchman. If you're from Africa, you can say, hey, I'm from Africa and I'm proud of Africa. But when you look at America, I really don't know how people can be proud to be an American. And I don't want to, I'm going to sound so anti-patriotic when I say this, right? And it's okay. That's fine. Because here's the deal. This country was built on the land where that has been blood spilled everywhere of the native people that lived here, the indigenous people that lived here. And then it has been built up on the backs of slaves that was brought here through the transatlantic slave trade. And then other nations have came here and prospered off of this land that was stolen from others. And we're supposed to say that that's greatness. That is like Rome 2.0, because Rome done the same thing. All right. And yeah, man, it's just, to me, now here's the deal. With that said, I didn't ask to be here. I was born in a generation at the end of time that my ancestors came from Scotland. About, I don't know, probably about 100-ish years ago, a little more. And, I'm just son of a foreigner in a foreign land. It's just, it's just crazy to consider upon the situation that we all, or many of us, are just sojourners. Matter of fact, almost every single person on this continent right now is just sojourners from another nation, with the exception of a few indigenous people of ancestors that hadn't been killed. And, it is just, this land is fertile for judgment, is where I'm getting at with everything I've said. Like if any nation in the world that needed judged, it is America. Like if I was the Most High, I would start right here and I would wipe this place clean. Period. I mean, I'd give it Egypt treatment, the plagues of Egypt treatment. Oh, baby, it'd be nasty. All right. But anyway, I said that rant to say this, is that, guys, if you do not keep it in the back of your head and in your mind that Babylon's judgment is imminent, and especially America is going to get her judgment, we need to do everything we can to exit the cities, because it's going to look like season 17 of The Walking Dead around here before you know it. All right. All right. Moving on. Let me see here. It's tough to have patriotism drilled on all your life, and then comes the shocking realization and shame of our national sin. I'm all about praising Yahweh now. Absolutely, Keith. Yeah, it's hard for me too, bro, because I was born, raised, love the American flag, be a patriot, volunteered for the military. And then you turn around years later and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I didn't get to go and serve because I got disqualified because I had asthma as a kid. I look back now and I'm like, I'm so glad I didn't go and fight for something that wasn't worth fighting for. Now the kingdom of Yah, that's worth fighting and dying for. But I'm like, this is not what I signed up for. Like, I don't want to be associated with an entity that took the lands of indigenous people, murdered them, enslaved them, and then brought slaves into this land, mistreated them, built an empire off of it, and turn around and act like it's some clean and righteous nation. I'm like, bro, this place is a hellhole. This place is wicked. And it's at its 11th hour. You know, we are literally at, D-Day, countdown to midnight. And I cannot wait for the kingdom of Yah to come. I really do want to perfect my character, if at all possible, more than I have now before he comes, because I don't want to be found in an unrighteous state when he comes, and I don't want to die in an unrighteous state and be asleep at his return in an unrighteous state. Father, please forgive and save me of all my sin and trespass. These are things that, I'm just trying to be mindful of in this 11th hour. And this is something that, we need to be, we've got a situation at hand where that you have people that are of the nations the world over that are waking up and they are assigning their loyalty to the kingdom of Yah. Now you have blood descendant Israelites that are waking up and figuring out, wow, I am the seed of Israel. I need to get back to Yah. Now, some of them, I hate to say it, they're pride-filled, arrogant, hateful, don't love the nations, don't want to be a lighthouse, don't even want to see us saved. All they care about is seeing us enslaved and mistreated and blah, blah, blah. And that's because I look at it like this. If I had been mistreated, my ancestors mistreated, I know that I'm a byword in the nations, I would probably be upset too. So I try to always be mindful of all these factors. You just try to take all these factors in. But we're in a paradigm where that no matter if you're a blood descendant of Israel or you're of the nations, you wake up and you figure out real quick, I don't belong here. This world hates me. I can't even, like, before long, and in my next point that I'm getting to, matter of fact, I just want to say this, and we'll get into that point because I want to touch on that in this point. So guys, we're at the 11th hour, need to be mindful of that, is that we're getting to a point where you have to understand that if your blood is pure currently, you are starting to move into a deep minority. And it doesn't matter if you want to be a melanist. See, I don't use the word race-ist. You're a melanist. If you want to be a melanist, you might want to just like let that die, because like we're moving to a point where we can't even discern between human and modified human anymore, because that DNA is getting modified to the point where that girl with leukemia the other day, they put a fundamentally changed her building block of her DNA, put it back in her body, and then it killed the leukemia. And I'm like, okay, but you if you can do that, what else terrible could you do to people's bodies? And I'm telling you, I've warned people in that recent video I just did, at the end of it, don't be taking barcodes, don't be taking jabs, don't be taking marks, don't be taking inserts in your forehead, don't be taking DNA modification. Like, bro, like, just what the flip is wrong with everybody? Like, I mean, I just don't understand this. I was such a hateful person during the years of Rona, like, what was it, 2020 to like 2021, or late 2019 to 2021, whatever. I just got to a point where I was like, okay, I don't want a part of this. And that went from, I don't want a part of this, to I have no intention of having any part of this, to do not speak to me about taking part in this, and don't come near me to take part in this, to the point where I'm like, I'm ready to strangle the life out of somebody. Like, that's how much this whole conversation bothers me. And like in this new year ahead, my hope and my aspiration is to find means and measures
to insulate my family financially and physically and spiritually, so that when I am ostracized from society for not participating in transhumanism and becoming something that is unacceptable in the eyes of the Most High Yah, I will have peace of mind, because I don't have that right now. I have guarded my daughter's soul, my son's soul, my wife's soul, my mom and dad's soul. I have been on guard for family and friends. I have raised absolute mortal hell to not even go to the doctor's office to get anything. Matter of fact, I broke down finally after I don't know how many years now not going to the doctor's office. I ain't even gotten a physical. That's the one thing that really bothers me, is like, I would like to go get a physical. I am just so sick and tired and paranoid. And I will say the word paranoid. I am paranoid that, like, I'll go in there to get a physical, and the next thing I know, I turned around and for some reason they try and jab me, because literally I went to get antibiotics and I had to get questionnaire and interrogated if I took the jab. And it's just, this is the world we live in. And before long, if you're a believer, you really need to stop having differences with one another and lay aside the melanism and the hate speeching and the judgmentalists and well, you're not on the same page here and I can't accept you, blah blah. You need to start getting it together, because I'm gonna tell you what, if you're a person that your blood is still pure and you're trying to serve Most High Yah, you are in a massive minority. All right, that is so small that I can barely find pure-blooded people anymore. And the people I do find are servants of Yah. So I'm just saying, there is much more important things on the table than the stupid, dumb ish that people carry on with, especially in the Torah community. I am so tired of it. It is annoying as death. And like this right here, this better be in your mind day and night, because I promise you this, I don't have to be a prophet. I don't even have to be anointed. I don't have to be righteous or could be wicked to see this as clear as day, is that there is going to be non-stop assault on you and your seed after you from now to eternity come, until Most High Yah puts this down, because these pharmaceutical, drug, sorcery, wicked, satanic companies are intent on making money for manipulating your soul. I'm going to say that again. They are intent on making money for manipulating your soul. All right, because nefesh, your literal being, this is what they're intent to do to you. All right, and if you don't participate in this society, if you don't participate in these tenets, you're not welcome. And so these are things in my New Year resolution, is to figure out ways to run my life in a parallel society, because I know that I am going to be shut out from being able to buy and sell. And that goes for the bondman, the free, the rich, and the poor. So I need to get smart. I need to get ahead of this thing, and I need to do my best to overcome, because I know that the saints are going to be wore out too. And I am tired as crap of this. All right. So there's that. All right. And then the next thing is that you need to have a plan for what you need to do to insulate yourself from what's to come. And I'm not going to go deep into this point. If you did not watch the last stream I did, you need to go back and watch that stream, because I go over step-by-step analysis, just like I'm doing right now, my tenets for a New Year resolution. I went step-by-step analysis of what needs to be done to lay a foundation to help you survive the end days and the New World Order. Now, that's not to say that it's a solid proof plan. That's not to say that it's going to be everything you need or perfect to your situation. All I'm saying is these are grassroots, fundamental things that can be done to help solidify a firm foundation for you to stand on. And shout out to you, brother, Growing What I Eat. I appreciate the donation. Much love to you. Guys, I appreciate the support on the channel. It goes to help multiple things. I mean, I just paid for that venue the other day so that we can all get together and fellowship. That meetup ain't going to cost nobody a dime. Come have a great time. I hope it's a wonderful meetup for everybody. But that right there, you need to be mindful that this is the situation at hand, that if you do not planning, or what is it? Not planning is planning to fail. I had that slide in that last week. And that is exactly the direction many are heading, especially those of the pre-tribulation rapture doctrine. These people, they will probably be the first people to descend on your doorsteps. It won't be the pagans. It won't be, I tell you, I'd literally bet the farm on it. It won't be the pagans. It won't be the drug dealers. It won't be the gangbangers. It won't be the thieves and the murderers and the pirates and the desperate golden horde of the masses. It will be the pre-tribulation rapture doctrine people will be the first people show up on your doorstep. Matter of fact, I want to do a stream about this because these people know what's up. Now, they live on hopamine, and hopamine is, to me, one of the most dangerous, deadly drugs. I think sugar and sexual interaction is two of the most addictive drugs in the world. I think the third most addictive is hopamine because people get stuck on living on hope, and hope is a good thing, but I want hope coupled with facts. I don't want hope coupled with fairy tales. And hopamine, the definition of hopamine is hope coupled with fairy tales. And the thing is that if you consider moving forward that whenever it all hits the wall at like 9,000 mile an hour, when the fecal matter, human fecal matter hits the vertical oscillator at like 1,000,000 miles an hour, when that blast off happens, many people are going to be in shock and awe for a minute. And then the next thing is they're going to be up on the doorstep because they know that the difference between you and them is that they know what was coming and didn't prepare. You know what was coming and did prepare, and they didn't fly away. That is the big resounding difference between us and them. That's an excellent question, Diane. I'd love to know where other people go to for channels and stuff. I'd love to get some other channels on where y'all go and, conversate with them and do some streams together with people again. I got to get Brother Akeem on here in a week or so. I need to hit him up today. A matter of fact, that's who I should talk to about pre-tribulation rapture doctrine. That would be a great stream, me and him to chop up on. I'll hit him up about that today. You're welcome, brother. Great information you're sharing. That's one reason I start gardening. If they can control your food, they'll have you. And shout out to you, brother. Much love to you. I want to tell you this. I just bought, one of those Arrow Garden Farm XLs. And I'm putting it in with my crypto mining facility so that the extra power during the day can be used to go toward the Arrow Gardens to grow food. And my hope is that, in doing so, we can step up food production here year round and then do raised bed gardens. And then later this year, I want to put a greenhouse in. Yes, that is true, Tess. Akeem and Joel both host a Shabbat talk. That is true. And, we need to do a stream where it's a shout out for everyone else's stream. I would love to do that to help spread the word. Nice. Yes, Cindy, tell Akeem, you know what? Tell Akeem and Joel that today. If you see them, that want to do pre-tribulation rapture doctrine versus a tribulation prepper preparedness, the difference between that, what that looks like, or something like that. That'd be a great stream. Yes, please, guys, spread the word on that, because I always mean well and I forget this stuff during the day. And I just talked to Akeem like last week on here. All right. So with the last point I want to make on this, and then I'll go to my last point, is that this needs to be a replay daily and weekly and monthly reevaluation, because shout out to you, Brother Dave. What Arrow Gardens you got? Very curious on that. Yeah, I love my battle boxes. Got one to review this week. Is that, the thing with, preparing I've been doing this since 2009, guys, trying to get ready. And I mean, I constantly go down the list, like right now, next week, after, oh my goodness, what is this, 12, 13 years? I've been trying to get this farm off grid. Literally, we'll be putting panel modules up to produce power, setting battery bank, the whole 9 yards, like finally getting it done. And I have worked for people and done hundreds and hundreds of off-grid projects and consultations and stuff. And now I'm finally, for myself, getting this done. Like, that's the thing. Don't beat yourself up. Listen, it takes forever to do this stuff. Hey, much love to you, brother. Hey, much love, my man. Hey, did you hear what I said on here a minute ago about doing that stream? Um, but stay on fire. How does crypto work? Hey, stay on fire. I'm going to be doing a lot more videos over at Black Flag Crypto Mining, so you can figure out on that. And Dave, do you like your farms? Sorry, guys, not to go squirrel here. While we're on this, actually having a plan to prepare and stuff, like these are things I discussed in the stream last week. Do you like your farms? And do you got like the XL units, or you got the small units? Like, and what do you grow in? I'm just curious. But anyway. Yeah, absolutely, my man. Check that out on the crypto channel. I should be posting some more starting next week. I'm going to start back on that channel. Literally got a bunch of stuff to share on there. But now I shared about crypto in this last stream too, if you want to check into it too. But long and short of it, guys, I would just overly state that we must go down our checklist daily, weekly, monthly. And make sure, measure. Listen, if you went to the store today, okay, this is positive reinforcement. If you went to the store today and you bought your groceries, which by the way, Abby bought ours the other day and it was almost $400, is if you, okay, hey, I was telling everybody that I wanted me and you and Joel to do a stream next week, y'all willing, covering the difference between being a tribulation prepper and the pre-tribulation rapture doctrine style people. What that looks like when the golden horde hits and D-Day +1 happens with the trumpets, because I was saying these are the people that's going to be on our doorstep first. And while we really need to get that across to people, like just hit me up, whatever's good for you and Joel next week. If you guys want to do that, I thought that'd be a really good thing, since we all ain't chopped it up on here together in a while. And I finally got my new studio up. So just let me know. Love you, brother. But, like we really, really need to be mindful of these aspects every day, weekly, and monthly, because if you got one more can of beans on that grocery shopping trip, you won today. You put a W on the board, because that's one meal that you've got extra in the pantry. It may not be the best meal, but you're not going to starve to death and die. And okay, peppers, fairy tale eggplants, basil flowers, tomatoes. All right, I'm just curious, have you ever tried growing a watermelon? Because I was tempted to try this and put like a foam pad down and set it on it and just rotate it. I'm very curious. Like, I was thinking maybe try some watermelons, but just let me know. But that's awesome. Great to know. I'm going to try to do some Tommy Toe tomatoes and stuff like that too. But, oh, that's great, Gene. I need to learn to do that too. Need to learn to do that. Absolutely, bro. Love you. All praise the Most High, Yah indeed. All right, guys. And the last point of the stream today, all right, is prophecy. And which, like I said, some of these points that I've said for New Year's resolution, they all have so much importance to them. So I don't know really how to rank one higher than the other. Okay. But when you look at biblical prophecy, the literal definition is knowledge of the prophecy, usually said to be obtained from a divine source. A prediction uttered under divine inspiration. Sorry about that, guys. That small print, man, I need to be wearing my glasses. I refuse to. So anyway, when you consider upon this, oh, wait a minute. What do we got here? I got to read this real quickly. Romans were lazier and look. Yeah. And look who the deity is. It always comes to Saturn. That's always the go-to deity that people always fall back and worship one form or another, from Babylonia, ancient Mesopotamia, Babylonia, Greece, Rome to today. It just still going. But prophecy, we need to be mindful that we no longer have to be mocked and derided by people. I mean, people will mock and deride you regardless, but you have a solid proof fact that from literally the river Euphrates drying up right now before our very starting to dry up, the bathtub plug being pulled, to the kings of the east, to all these biblical prophetic things being taken place. It is absolutely mind-boggling at the prophetic things that are falling in line as we speak. Now, what is imperative to understand about that is things that many of us have been preparing for almost a decade. We are watching take place before our very eyes today. All right. Now that is phenomenal. That is paramount to understand. And that is something that we need to be an echo chamber to the masses, and especially from, like I said, one of pre-tribulation rapture doctrine people all the way down the line, because it's going to get wild out here. It's going to get unhinged, and people are going to come clean off their rocker. Now, I'm expecting anything at this point. Anything's on the table at this point. All right, I'm going to tell you, from Project Bluebeam and aliens, which is actually demons, to, all these catastrophic plagues and things that's going to happen, to the seven trumpets, to you name it. Listen, baby, I'm at point break at any moment. Like, I'm expecting anything to hit the wall at any minute. So knowing this and being mindful of this, it's something we need to resolve to do in the year ahead, is to put these prophetic things writ on the heart. Like, literally, like somebody asked me right now, it's like, why are you so hard on pharmaceutical drug sorcery? I'd be like, bro, open up Scripture, Revelation chapter 18, read right there. That right there is how the kings of the earth, all right, these are the wicked ones running the show, pharmaceutical drug sorcery company. You literally, you literally can go down the line on this stuff and just point people right to an answer immediately today nowadays. And that's the thing. Years ago, we talked about, well, this and this is coming, and that's coming. That's like literally the River Euphrates. Why I look so forward to doing this on New Year's Day, talking about it. And I've been talking about doing this stream, then I'll pass it another stream, then finally going to do it. Is that the thing that's so intriguing to me is that never in my life would I just seen these things, like, to the point where it's like, man, this is happening literally before my very eyes. And it's like, bro, it is happening before your very eyes. Like, there is whole generations of our family members that are asleep in the grave waiting the resurrection, never seen these prophetic things take place, and we're literally watching the bathtub drain before our very eyes. Like, you can't make this stuff up at this point. You do understand that, right? Like, that's the thing that needs to be echo chambered to the masses too, is it's like, listen, you can love me, you can hate me, you can despise me, you can rebuke me, you can reject me, you can say that I'm an idiot, but you cannot delete the fact. Like, you can't identify, we live in this generation right now where, what was it, Piers Morgan, he actually roasted them people over that identity thing, and it was really great. It's making rounds on TikTok. But we are at a point where you cannot identify that the river Euphrates is draining, right? You cannot identify that it's full anymore. Now, you may do that, but the facts stand that this was where the water level was, and this is where the water level's at, and it is drying up, and it is making world news. And so therefore, you can identify in your mind that it's still a river and it's still full, but it's not. Okay, so all this craziness of in this generation where everybody wants to identify this or that as this or that, Luke lives in the realm of hard facts, and the hard facts is it's about to hit the fan. All right, as it is actually starting to hit the fan. All right, so guys, that is my list for the new year. And just to review on that for those that come in afterwards, that'll be going back, probably watching the stream, the front of it, is to block out the noise of the world, focus on sin removal, especially pet sins, call the people that is not contributing to you as a person and your walk in the Most High, focus on exiting Babylon as much as possible, guard your soul, especially from the beast system's intention to dehumanize us. Have a plan for what you need to do to insulate yourself from what's to come. Refer to the last stream on that. And be mindful of prophecy. We're in the season. No one knows the day nor hour, but we are at the door, my friends. And these are indeed most exciting times. So, guys, until we see you again here at Seven Trumpets Prepper Channel, I really hope this stream has been a help to you. I'm really trying to, bring things out that are timely to the day and hour in which we are living. And make sure also to check in the link in the video description below for the meetup on the 5th. And guys, I'm really looking forward to that. I hope it's a great turnout. Hope everybody has a great time together. Like I said, it is just a casual, light, nice meetup. A great day to enjoy a park. A great day to enjoy the first day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. And just network and build something solid with one another to move forward. All right. So with that said, guys, as always, till we see you again here at Seven Trumpets Prepper Channel, hope Most High Yah baruch you and keep you, make his face shine upon you, show you favor, and give you shalom, my friends. In Yahushua name. Love y'all.